So I want to follow up with you today on April 1st, the first day of April, new month, about what's going on with radical Republican Trumpist Congressman Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz recently appeared on the Tucker Carlson show and announced that he is vindicated. And I was thinking, what are you talking about, vindicated? You're under a very serious investigation in which you may be charged. Now, there are some who have already sort of moved on and are assuming that because Matt Gaetz hasn't already been charged, he's not going to be charged. And remember that the possible crimes and charges have a large range up to and including child sex trafficking of a minor across state lines. But needless to say, for some reason, he thinks that he's been vindicated. And here he is talking to Tucker Carlson about it.
A year ago today, 365 days, that the Justice Department leaked a story to the New York Times, and it caught our attention immediately. They told the Times they were investigating Congressman Matt Gaetz, Republican of Florida, for a very serious crime, underage sex trafficking.
Right.
So Gaetz made an appearance on this show, which turned out to be one of the weirdest interviews we've ever done. He denied it.
True.
He has not been on Fox News since that day. But we did notice, since we've been sort of following it, Matt Gaetz was never charged with anything. So how is that? The Justice Department calls the New York Times and says you're a sex criminal, and then a year later you're not charged with anything? So we thought it'd be worth inviting Congressman Matt Gaetz back on the show to ask for an update. And here he is. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on. So to be clear, you were described in the New York Times by the Justice Department as a felony sex criminal. Have you been charged? Do you expect to be charged for felony sex crimes?
No, this was an operation to destroy me, to harm my family, to hinder my ability to serve the district and the movement that I represent in Congress. And we all know there's a pipeline of leaks and lies that flow from the Justice Department to the mainstream media, the New York Times in particular. And that's not even a partisan criticism of the Biden administration. That happened during the Trump administration as well. We saw it during the Russia hoax. But the most important update, the most important thing that's happened since our last on-air discussion, someone has been indicted and has pled guilty to trying to shake down my family based on this pile of lies. And so I'm not going to allow it to hinder me. I'm going to continue the important work that I do here in the Congress for my constituents.
Yeah, so I'm not going to ask any questions about your personal life because it's not my business. It's really simple. If you've committed a crime, let them charge you. And they haven't. And they've smeared your name. Again, your private life's your business. Whether you committed a crime or not is everybody's business, and you haven't. And I just want to ask you one more time, crisply and clearly, do you expect to be charged for the crimes of which they've accused you?
No, that would be a travesty. I'm innocent. I have maintained my innocence. I have been entirely consistent on this fact, and each and every day, the lies about me unravel and are debunked, and the things I've said, and admittedly, it's pretty wild to come on your show and say that my family's being shaken down for $25 million by some fraudsters, some with connections to the intelligence community and the Department of Justice, but in fact, someone has pled guilty to just that. So I feel vindicated each and every day.
So he's vindicated. Now notice a lot of the things that aren't said there. Tucker didn't ask, have you been cleared? Because the answer is he hasn't been cleared. That's number one. It's also important to mention none of the claims reported about Gaetz have been debunked at this point in time. He's just not been charged yet. He may not be charged. I'm completely open to that possibility. But Tucker didn't ask, have you been cleared? Because the answer is no. The thing that he was accused of doing, at one point, he claimed he didn't even know the woman in question. We now have a paper trail where we know that Venmo was actually used to get money through an intermediary to the woman he claimed never to have met. So that has not been debunked. In fact, that's been confirmed. And none of the actual claims to date have actually been shown to be untrue. Also remember, just as like a reminder about the weirdness of this story, in that weird interview a year ago, I remember I was on vacation when this broke and I was on my phone going, what the hell is Matt Gaetz talking about? Matt Gaetz appeared with Tucker in that weirdest interview we've ever done. And he almost like implicated Tucker by saying, you were there with me and had dinner with one of the people I was with. This was one of the strangest moments I've ever seen.
Again, I only know what I've read in the New York Times. I can say that actually you and I went to dinner about 2 years ago. Your wife was there, and I brought a friend of mine. You'll remember her. And she was actually threatened by the FBI, told that if she wouldn't cop to the fact that somehow I was involved in some pay-for-play scheme, that she could face trouble. And so I do believe that there are people at the Department of Justice who are trying to smear me, providing for flights and hotel rooms for people that you're dating who are of legal age is not a crime. And I'm just troubled that the lack of any sort of legitimate investigation into me would then convert into this extortion attempt.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of or the context at all, honestly, but...
Oh, that, if anything could accurately be described as Kafka-esque, I think it would be that. So listen, yes, the truth is Gaetz has not been charged, but he has not been cleared. And the assertions Gaetz has made, many of those have been proven to be false. Like, I don't know this woman. Actually, you do, and you did send her money, supposedly for tuition and books, but you did send her money. And the investigation is ongoing. But what a bizarre situation. One of our sponsors is Atlas VPN, an awesome company offering free VPN subscriptions to journalists in Ukraine, risking their safety to do really important work. But Atlas VPN also has a lot to offer all of my viewers. Your internet traffic can be observed by a number of parties, your ISP, big tech platforms, even the government. That's why I use Atlas VPN whenever I connect to the internet. I don't want to be spied on. I don't want companies selling my personal information. You shouldn't either. Atlas VPN protects your internet connection by hiding your IP address, making you invisible online. With just one Atlas VPN account, I can protect all of my devices at the same time. You just turn it on once, forget about it, and stay protected. And their speeds are great. I've never had any lag while streaming video content with Atlas VPN. Atlas VPN is giving my audience 82% off. This comes out to just $199 a month. Plus, you get 1 month free. Just click the link below and use the code PACMAN.